Alright, what's up everybody? Or I guess the couple of people that actually watched the last video. I only got one person saying they wanted another one, but fuck it. Here's another one. So I know it's a little late. Um I had another video recorded and then I decided that that one's too good. Yep, it's too good for right now. Okay, this one's pretty fucking good, but the other one's too good. And then my gameplay got all fucked up when I recorded it. I don't know. It was at like 5 FPS. It was fucking crazy. All right, so this video, it's about this kid. I convinced him to smoke fake weed. All right, and no, I'm not talking about like K2, no spice, none of that shit. No, this was like, you'll understand. All right, so this happened back in like 2018 or 2019. I want to say, I don't remember actually. This was a few years ago. I was in Boy Scouts at the time, all right? Not anymore cuz that shit's lame. But I always liked camping and shit, so I went into Boy Scouts, but so this was, sorry, I just had to wipe some shit off my desk. This was at a Boy Scout summer camp. If you don't know what that is, it's like um you go with your troop for like a week to some campground where they have like merit badges and shit that you can work on and like all sorts of stuff like that. It's pretty cool. It's also kind of fucking weird and it gets boring sometimes. But yeah, so we're at one of those. And this was up in Wisconsin. So I don't know what kind of plants grow in Wisconsin. For all I know, this kid could have smoked some poison. But so at this place they had a like a zip line. It was weird. They had this really big zip line, and it was out in this field. So we had just done the zip line, and we got off, and we were walking around out in this field, and me and my friend, see, we'll call him Josh. All right, me and my friend Josh are walking out in this field, and our friend, well, not really friend, he was super fucking annoying. This like younger kid who was also in Boy Scouts. We'll call him Tyler. All right, we'll call him Tyler. So me and Josh are walking around out in this field, and Tyler gets off the zip line, and me and Josh, we both like we smoke, right? We smoke weed. Yeah, okay, so we both smoke. And we're walking around out in this field, right? And we find this plant. I shit you not, the leaves were exactly the same as a weed leaf. Like, it looked like pot. So we're looking at this shit, and I'm like, maybe it's hemp. I don't really know. The leaves looked identical. The plant itself, it was like really short. So for all I know, it could have been like hemp growing out there or something. I don't know if hemp grows in Wisconsin. Maybe somebody let me know. I don't know. But we find it, and Tyler gets off of the zip line, and he comes over to us, and I was like, dude, this looks like weed. And Tyler goes, oh, dude, is it weed? Like, you smoke, right? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, if it's weed, can we smoke? And I'm like, oh god, like I immediately got this idea. All right, I was like, oh yeah, dude, for sure. And I look at Josh, and Josh looks at me, and we both knew what we were about to do. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh yeah, man, this is definitely weed. So I start picking the leaves, and I tell Tyler, I'm like, go, dude, go get the leaves, go start picking leaves, because we found a bunch of these plants. Like, go get leaves. So he's out there like picking these leaves. I'm sorry, this shit's too funny. He's out there picking these leaves, and he brings them over to me, and he's like, is this enough? And I'm like, oh yeah, dude, we got a lot here. And he's like, well, how much do we have? And I'm like, dude, we got a good like half ounce here. And he's like, oh dude, I've never smoked before, like what's this gonna be like? And I'm like, we'll smoke tonight. And he's like, okay. So I asked him, I said, do you have anything to like roll up a blunt with, or roll up a joint with? And he's like, oh, I think I have something. And he pulls out I'm sorry. I shit you not. He pulls out like you know those like Hostess cake, like the ho-hos. You know that was like, or like the Swiss rolls, something like that. You know that cardboard thing that goes around them. he he pulls out one of those and he's like, "Was this gonna work?" And me just like completely knowing that we're fucking with him at this point, I'm like, "Oh yeah, dude." So I start like tearing the leaves up, cause he thinks you get high off of smoking the leaves. He's so fucking stupid. So I start tearing these leaves up, and I have like a big pile of these leaves, and I put them in this like piece of cardboard, and I roll up a blunt, right? I roll up a blunt out of this shit, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, it's not sticking." And he goes, "Oh, I got something for that." This motherfucker rolls out a roll of duct tape. He pulls out duct tape. So I duct tape the blunt. I'm sorry. This is how you know, like, I don't cut these videos. I had one cut earlier, right? But I don't cut these. This is real. He he pulls out duct tape, so I duct tape the blunt shut. I'm like, "All right, man, put it in your bag, because I'm not trying to get caught with this." And he's like, "Oh, dude, I don't know about that." I'm like, "Dude, it's fine. We're outside. You're not going to smell it." So we go through the rest of our day doing merit badge shit and all that. Honestly, I think me and Josh just kind of fucked around the rest of the day. I don't even think we did our merit badges. We kind of just skipped them. But it becomes nighttime, it's night. We go into our tent, which me and Josh, we had our own, like, we shared a tent, but we didn't actually sleep in our tent. We had hammocks set up in the trees behind it. So me, Josh, and Tyler, and this other kid, we'll call him Branson. We'll call him Branson, right? So me, Josh, Tyler, and Branson all come into this tent. So me, Josh, and Branson, we all smoke. So I told Branson about this. He was in on it. So we get Tyler in there. I'm like, "All right, man, you ready for this?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know, man. I kind of want you guys to hit it first." And I'm like, "Ah, fuck. All right." So I take this blunt thing, and I like light the end of it with a lighter, and I like start like puffing on it just to get it lit so it looks like I'm hitting it. And I pass it to Branson, and Branson puffs on it, like it's a cigar. And he hands it to fucking Josh, and Josh puffs on it like it's a cigar, and we hand it to Tyler. And I tell Tyler, I'm like, "All right, bro, you gotta inhale. You gotta get it deep in your lungs, bro." And he's like, "All right, man." And he takes like the fattest fucking hit I've ever seen anyone take. He takes the fattest hit off of this thing. I shit you not. He probably burnt like at least a fourth of this blunt thing. And he exhales and he starts coughing so hard. And like, we're around other people. Like, there's tents right next to ours. So I'm like, "Oh fuck, this is gonna backfire." So I grab like a hoodie that I had laying in my pile of shit in the inside of our tent. I hand him a hoodie, and Josh gets like a bottle of water, and he starts drinking the water, and he's coughing into the hoodie and everything. And thankfully no one came in to see what was going on. I'm kind of surprised, but he's coughing up a lung, and we start dying laughing. Like, he thinks that we're just baked, right? And he goes, "Oh, dude, I think I'm feeling it now." And he's like, "Bro, everything's so colorful, man." I'm like, yeah, you're pretty high, dude." He's like, "Are my eyes red?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, dude, they're super red." And he's like basically pretending that he's high. I guess placebo effect. But we just started laughing so hard. And he's like, "Guys, what, like, how are you that high? You only took like little hits." And I'm like, "Dude, you realize you didn't just smoke weed. Like, you just smoked a plant I found on the ground." And he goes, "What?" I'm like, "Dude, that wasn't weed. I found some plant that looked like weed, and I just put the leaves in a fucking thing, and you smoked it." And he got so pissed off. He's like, I'm telling the scoutmaster or whatever the fuck." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're gonna tell the scoutmaster that you tried to smoke weed and we gave you fake weed?" And he goes, I'm telling my mom." And I'm like, you're gonna tell your mom the same thing? He goes, I hate you so much. And I'm like, dude, just don't be a fucking dumbass. Like, I mean, yeah, he probably didn't deserve this, but he was such a dick all the time. He was so annoying, and it was hilarious. So that he went to bed, we went to bed, woke up the next morning, fucking made fun of him some more, and went on with the rest of our camping trip. And the rest of it was eventful, but that's for a different story maybe. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I thought this one was fucking hilarious. But yeah, so if you guys want more stories, let me know. Leave a like if you liked it. Leave a dislike if you didn't, I guess. Comment, if you want some more. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.